Welcome to the Ghostly Chronicles. The valley that wasn't there yesterday. The desert wasn't supposed to change. That's why the discovery made no sense. 3 researchers, Leah, Marcus, and Dr. Otero, were mapping the Atacama Desert when their satellite readouts went wrong. A perfectly circular valley had appeared overnight. No erosion, no sinkhole, just a valley that didn't exist the day before. They thought it was a glitch, until they reached the place. The valley. The wind died the moment they stepped near the rim, as if the air refused to enter. The valley was impossibly deep, shaped like a bowl carved by a giant hand. Marcus leaned over the edge with binoculars. "There's a structure down there," he whispered. "Not a ruin, but a tower, black and smooth, sticking out of the sand like the tip of something buried." Leah felt uneasy. "Why is the sand forming a perfect circle around it?" Otero answered quietly, "Because something pushed the ground outward. Recently." They set up ropes and began the descent. Halfway down, Leah noticed the sand was warm. Too warm. Like something below was producing heat. The tower. At the bottom, the tower looked ancient and wrong. No doors, no windows, no seams, just stone that seemed to be grown rather than built. Marcus touched it. The tower shuddered under his hand. A vibration rippled through the sand, making their bones hum. Then, a line appeared on the surface, a vertical crack, and it slid open silently, revealing a staircase spiraling downwards. Marcus grinned. "Oh, we're definitely going in." Leah grabbed his arm. "We shouldn't be here." Otero's voice echoed inside the chamber. "We're already here." They entered. The staircase felt endless. The air grew colder with each step until their breath misted. Then, they reached a room filled with mirrors. But not human-made mirrors. These were thin metallic sheets stretching from floor to ceiling, reflecting their forms in strange, distorted ways. Marcus laughed nervously. "These aren't reflections." "Look." Leah looked. Her reflection blinked after she did. Then it mouthed something silently. "Don't turn around." Leah's blood turned to ice. She tore her eyes away. "Let's go back," she whispered. But Otero was already moving toward the far side of the chamber, where a second doorway waited. "We're close to something extraordinary," he said. Then the lights in the room, though they carried none, flickered, and something behind the mirrors breathed. The next chamber was spherical. A hollow globe of stone with a basin in the center. Inside the basin was sand, but the sand wasn't still. It flowed in a slow spiral, circling like water, though nothing pushed it. Marcus knelt down. "Is it magnetic?" The sand reared upward, forming a shape, a human shape, a face, a mouth, and it whispered in a dozen overlapping voices, "You took too long." The chamber shook. The floor split open, revealing glowing tunnels beneath the stone. The sand creature lunged. Marcus was the first grabbed. The swirling sand wrapped around his legs, dragging him screaming into the basin. Leah pulled at him, but the sand swallowed him whole, like a living pit. "Run!" Otero shouted. They sprinted through a side corridor as the sand roared behind them, ripping stones from the walls, forming limbs, heads, and arms that clawed for them. Leah and Otero reached the staircase, but the steps were folding, twisting, turning themselves flat like a giant tongue pulling inward. Leah grabbed a ledge. Otero slipped. The sand creature surged upward, engulfing him from the waist down. He didn't scream. He only looked at Leah and whispered, "It's not a valley. It's a mouth." Then he vanished. Leah climbed with everything she had. The tower shook violently, as if something beneath it was waking up after a very long sleep. She burst out of the structure and ran across the valley floor. The sand beneath her feet vibrated, rising and falling like a living lung. The valley walls began to move, contracting inward, not collapsing, swallowing. Leah scrambled up the rope. Halfway up, the sand rose after her in a tidal wave, forming grasping shapes. She climbed higher. The sand caught her boot. She kicked, screamed, pulled until her muscles tore. In one final burst, she reached the rim and rolled onto safe ground. She turned back. The valley folded into itself. The tower sank. The sand smoothed out and after 30 seconds the landscape looked exactly the same as it had the day before. Flat, empty, calm, no valley, no tower, no trace anyone had ever been there. Leah radioed for evacuation, voice shaking. When the rescue crew arrived at dawn, she pointed to the exact coordinates. "There's a valley," she insisted. "Right here." The officer checked his map. "There's never been a valley here." Leah stared at the horizon. The desert shimmered quietly, under the sun. Then she saw it. The sand rippled, subtly, in a perfect circle, as if something underneath was breathing, and waiting to open its mouth again. She whispered, "It wasn't a place. It was a predator." Please, like, share, and subscribe.